It's 7:08. Good morning. We're Ellis and Tyler.
And our guest this morning is Melony McKaye from the Z88.3 midday show.
Family.
Our family, our girl.
Yeah.
And thank you so much. If you have been praying for her, she's been in Haiti the past week, and it has been overwhelming, the amount of people who have been praying for her and the emails that we've gotten and the phone calls that we've gotten. So thank you so much. We're just so happy that you're here, and I know it's just been quite an experience. The last time I talked to you and saw you in person, you were just so excited to leave to go to Haiti on your very first mission trip.
I was just overwhelmed at the thought that I got to go and on behalf of our Z family, serve these people in Haiti, because we were going down there with literally thousands, I think close to 10,000 of these shoe boxes, many of which, our Z listeners will help collect and help load. And we got down there, and the first couple of days were spent working, sorting boxes. The New Missions has 22 different schools that they operate, and that we were going to be taking these school boxes to. And so we were at the warehouse, and remember the first moment we opened the warehouse and we saw all those shoe boxes. And I can vividly remember the very first box I handed out to a little girl, and she just stood she didn't know what to do. She was dumbfounded. These kids had never received gifts before. And I finally asked somebody, in how do you say in Creole, this is for you? Poo-oo, poo-oo. And she just was holding this box, and she couldn't believe that all of this would be for her. And it was overwhelming to think that I got a chance to go and collect all those stories, and I was going to get a chance to bring those back to my Z family here in Central Florida.
So after your first day or two there, what did you think of Haiti and the people of Haiti?
Oh, I am so in love with the people of Haiti for so many reasons. The first impressions were very hard because we flew right into Port-au-Prince. And I had been bracing myself and praying because I knew I was going to see poverty in ways that I had never seen it before. And all I kept saying is, Lord, in seeing this desperation, I don't want to just focus on that. I want to see you in it. Yes. Father, make sure you reveal yourself to me in it, the hope that you bring into those situations. As usual, God kind of went abundantly above and beyond that the whole week. But as we were driving in, going through Port-au-Prince, all I kept thinking, and we just drove along the beach just to get out of Port-au-Prince, to get out to the Léogâne Plain where we were at the mission. And as we went along the bus, there was 40 some of us there. And as we went along, the bus just got quieter and quieter, because there was an excitement when you first arrived. We're here, and all the giddiness and the excitement. But as we went along and we were seeing mile after mile after mile after mile, this destitution, not just the degree right along the road, but it went up into the hills and the mountains and sprawled out for as far as you could see. Not one little patch of slum, just huts. There was no major city buildings. There were no Walmarts. There were no shopping centers. There were banks were little cardboard huts that somebody sat in by themselves. I mean, for miles, this was Port-au-Prince prior to the earthquake.
What happened? I guess we've got to find out the day the earthquake hit. What was going on just before?
Wow, that was such a day. I remember telling God at about 3:30, about an hour before the earthquake hit, I remember just going, wow, God, my life is so changed. You've showed me so much. You didn't even need to really send an earthquake to do any more change in my life. That day started off very early, 4 a.m. We got up, and a bunch of us had gone up to the mountain country and watched the sunrise over the Léogâne Plain, which is where we were serving. And I remember putting on for the first time and only time on the trip my iPod, listening to Chris Tomlin, How Great Is Our God, talking about how the light would come and push out the darkness, and praying over the Léogâne Valley, God, do what it takes that your light would come into this valley. And after that, we went back and we went to our first school. We went to Broche Malo, and we brought about 300 shoe boxes. And we had a chance to go into a school for the first time and hand out the shoe boxes and love on these kids and just get a chance to minister to them. And after that, we went back and grabbed a quick bite of lunch, and then we walked a mile down the beach to a village, the La Salle village, and had a chance to minister to people there and hand out items and donations and talk to them about Jesus. And my church had earlier been in that village and had found a woman who was a widow of 4 kids and living in just abject poverty, and they built her a home in 2 or 3 days. And I saw her and got a chance to meet with her and pray with her and see what God was continuing to do with her life. And we were just elated. We had all been scattered at different parts of the compound and villages and schools and warehouses and working, and we had all gathered back on the complex outside the dining hall We were all sharing our stories of what we had seen God do for that day. And we were just so excited about what God was going to continue to do. And we were waiting for dinner, for the dinner bell to ring. And it hit. And at first, you heard it coming. You heard this crack of the earth and the trees rustling over to my left. And at first I thought it was an explosion. And then the impact hit. And I literally was standing on a patio near a picnic table. And it literally picked me up and threw me across the sidewalk that was below that patio and into the grass. And as I looked back, I saw the sidewalk begin to split behind me. And you heard somebody say, earthquake. And it was the first time it dawned on me that this is an earthquake. And we all tried to see, we could see a group of each other, and we all tried to gather in kind of an open area and get together, but you couldn't move. You couldn't stand up. You were just, and I remember thinking, this has got to be 2 minutes. This has got to be 2 minutes. And we went back, and we had a professional videographer with us, Bob Scott, and they were recording an interview when the earthquake hit, and they recorded it, and we looked back at his footage, and it was 14 seconds.
Wow.
And I couldn't believe that it was just 14 seconds.
As a mom, what goes through your head? You've got 3 kids. What you know,
initially, I didn't think of any of that. You know, we wanted to get to a place of safety. What are we going to do? What happened? Your thoughts are trying to comprehend what really happened. When it really hit me was about 45 minutes later, as the sun was setting. We weren't sure if there was a threat of tsunami. We were on a plane right on the beach. We didn't know if there was because we didn't know where the epicenter was. So we didn't know if there was a threat of tsunami or flooding. And so we're like, we got to get to higher ground. We got to get in these open trucks that we've been traveling in and leave this compound, which I really believe is a covered, safe, sacred ground. New Missions has been ministering out of this place for 27 years. They've been having an impact on the villagers around them, and the villagers love this mission and love these missionaries and protect them. And we felt God's covering there. And when we were talking about leaving this compound, that's when it really hit me. I'm in a 3rd, 5th world country in the middle of a natural disaster, and I'm leaving the place where I feel safe, where I feel covered by God. And all I kept praying in my head is, Lord, I just need to hear my husband's voice right now. I just need to talk to David. And this time I had no service on my cell phone. The entire time we'd been there, I took pictures of it. No service. It always said no service. And as I'm saying that prayer, I looked down at my phone, and I had bars on my phone for the first time. And I called my husband, who had seen the news headlines while he was at a restaurant with a friend, and he was frantically trying to get a hold of me. And we got a chance to get the message out that everyone, miraculously everyone in our group, was unscratched. The kids that were with us from Foundation Academy and the First Academy and some of the local high schools that were with us, Christine Webb from Channel 13, so David called the Z, call Channel 13, whatever it takes, get the word out that we're all safe and to pray for us. And I'm telling you, you prayed, and you prayed in a big way. And we felt those prayers. And I know we're all here because of God honoring those prayers.
Our guest is Melony McKaye from the Midday Show. We're so glad that she's home.